What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. Today we're jumping into the Lightblade Grandmaster Nightfall, a Grandmaster that can be quite a handful if you don't know what you're doing.
Do you know what I am saying?
So today I'll be breaking this Nightfall down in its entirety to make completing the Lightblade on Grandmaster difficulty as easy as possible.
Do you know what I am saying?
This Grandmaster will put you up against the Scorn and the Hive. There will be Unstoppable and Barrier champions with Arc and Strand energies, both getting surges.
Oh yeah.
Grenade launchers get surged and Arc will be the threat, so utilizing Arc resistance mods will be crucial, as will Void resistance, since you'll be facing Lucent Hive Knights, who will be throwing tons of depression grenades and frisbees at you.
Well, that sucks.
The Wishender, Trinity Ghoul, and Quicksilver Storm are all outstanding exotics to use against those barriers, with Malfeasance being the perfect choice against Unstoppables. With ammo economy in mind, I do recommend utilizing double primary weapons here, but if someone is running Aeons or Cenotaph, you should be set on heavy and special ammo.
Do you know what I am saying?
Warlocks and Titans will find Strand builds to be the most beneficial. Having enemies suspended and severed will make things a lot easier to manage.
Oh yeah.
Hunters with Strand Beyblades can really tear through some enemies, but an invisible Void build with Omnioculus will be extremely beneficial here when it comes to the boat ride section and the Totem's Labyrinth.
Do you know what I am saying?
When this Grandmaster begins, you'll be outside of Savathun's Cathedral. It'll be best if you ignore the ads here and focus on the boss. Once the boss disappears, you can send an invisible hunter ahead to despawn the rank and file enemies. Despawning the barrier champions will not remove your platinum rewards at the end. Once you've made it into the Cathedral, you'll have several Lucent Hive and barrier champions to deal with.
Well, that sucks.
It will be best if you focus on the Lucent Hive first.
Do you know what I am saying?
Taking these guys out early will reduce the likelihood of your team wiping from those nasty depression grenades and frisbees, since Lucent Hive frisbees will ricochet, resulting in the death of 2 or even 3 guardians at once. You'll need to try to stay spread out from one another. You can perch up onto the side ledges, but beware of the thrall that spawn in these doorways.
Do you know what I am saying?
Knights can also jump up here, so you'll need to be ready to get down and head back to the front hallway if you do get overwhelmed. Otherwise, the ledge is a great place to pick off those Lucent Hive.
What do you want to do, huh? What do you want to do?
After clearing out this room, you'll move onward to the first boat ride. Defeat the barrier champions, then pick off those acolytes before jumping onto the boat. There will be a shrieker at the end, so if you need to, you can jump off of the boat onto any of the side ledges. Once the boat ride ends, you'll need to take out the Lucent Hive on each side of the room. Don't crowd together here, and if you stay at the steps, be sure to back up and crouch whenever the Lucent Hive tosses his frisbees.
Do you know what I am saying?
The second stage of the boat ride can be easily completed with the use of an invisible hunter, but if you lack that component, then just simply jump off and run along the sides, kill the enemies section by section, and jump through the portal at the end. The final section of the boat ride will have a ton of thrall jumping on board, so you can stay on one of the door openings at either side of the boat in order to avoid all of them.
Do you know what I am saying?
Invisible hunters can make the next section a breeze by keeping the team invisible the whole way, or running ahead to despawn the entire section. But if you don't have that luxury, you will need to stick to the far right wall and make your way through the labyrinth together, and shooting down those Lucent Maws before you get to them.
Do you know what I am saying?
After the labyrinth has been cleared, you'll have to fight through Scorn to get into the cave section. Watch out for the Lucent Maws here, as they have some sneaky spawn locations. You'll need to stay at the top of the cave in order to take out the Hive and Scorn enemies that are down below. Just watch out for the Screebs, who will jump up into the entrance. Once everything's dead, drop down and knock out those Shriekers before moving on to the final phase of this Grandmaster, The best way to take on this boss encounter is to have one guardian dedicated to boss duty. This guardian will need to bounce between the center plate and a balcony ledge while maintaining the boss's aggro.
Do you know what I am saying?
This allows the other two guardians to spread out while clearing out the rank and file enemies on the balcony and the cursed thrall down below. Once the boss returns to the center platform, there will be 2 disciples and 2 warriors that spawn in.
Well, that sucks.
Focus on the warriors, which are the Lucent Hive. You need to get these guys down before the disciples, because when the disciples go down, the boss will go back to chasing everyone around, and a new set of adds will spawn in with 2 barrier champions.
Do you know what I am saying?
If you hold off on killing the disciples, you can take the time to regain supers before spawning in those champions. If possible, the guardians holding the boss's aggro will need to continue that as this new wave of enemies spawn in, so that the other 2 players can focus on the champions and the adds without getting chased by the boss. There's a ton of outstretched spikes on the walls that you can use to avoid enemies if you do get overwhelmed while on the 2nd floor. And when at the bottom, you can still use select emotes to hide outside of the borders of the map to avoid most enemies, including the boss.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
After the champions and rank and file enemies have been defeated, you can return your focus back to the boss. This will be another opportunity to regain supers and grab whatever heavy ammo is available, because when the boss goes immune, he'll return back to the center platform and another wave of Lucent Hive and disciples will spawn in, followed by another group of barrier champions.
Do you know what I am saying?
After the 2nd wave of barrier champions have been defeated, you'll only have a few rank and file enemies to contend with as you finish off the boss and complete your run through of the Lightblade on Grandmaster difficulty.
Oh, it's over. It's over.
While the Lightblade is the featured Grandmaster, the loaded question is the available reward, with adept versions only coming from Grandmaster. The loaded question is a solid performing fusion rifle that can drop with controlled burst or reservoir burst, a great weapon to use against adds or for boss damage. So it's definitely a great weapon to pick up this week. And in order to guild those Conqueror titles, you'll need to conquer the Lightblade first.
Do you know what I am saying?
To which I wish you all the best of luck throughout your week of farming. Let me know how your runs are going and what loadouts you decided on. Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you as always for checking out the video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated and both really do help support the channel. And if you're a new Light Guardian, just starting your journey, or a battle-hardened veteran just looking for a new home, then be sure to check out the Discord link in the description below and join one of the greatest communities in all of Destiny.
Oh, yeah.
And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.